Hey, everybody out there on YouTube. How's it going? Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Good, Deb. How are you?
I am fantastic. You know what? We have a lot of people asking questions. As most people know who've been following us, we've been doing a conversion process where people who have trades that were negative from some in 2021, sitting
All right.
waiting for the market to go back up. We've helped them. We've added some functionality to help them use a different coin to track back to positive, to get that number back to positive. So right now we're doing that with Utherverse. There's a pre-sale going on. So if you don't know anything about Utherverse, you have to see the live that we did on Saturday. It's on our YouTube. Please go hit live, go back and watch. We had Brian Schuster on from Utherverse telling us all about this project and why it's so important to hold UTHX tokens. Now, there are no guarantees, and we always have to remind you that we're not rocket scientists or financial advisors. So anything we say on this call is for educational purposes only. We're just trying to get people to understand that there's a whole lot of exciting stuff going on out there. But Doug, people have been asking, well, I've got my assets in Kraken now. How do I get those? I can't figure out how to get those, my USDT over to MetaMask. So
Right.
I understand today you're going to help us through the process.
Well, you're going to help me, so I'm going to be the guinea pig. And
Nice.
before we actually go into this, one of the things that I want to say, and you guys are going to see this if you're in Digibot and you see your accounts, right? We work in ledgers, and a lot of people that are watching this may not understand ledgers, but we work in ledgers and we work in closing profitable trades against negative trades and eventually close out the entire ledger positive. But we're doing something really unique here. We're taking some of the largest negative positions in the ledger and moving that out to another coin that has a many X times upside factor to really make these bigger negative trades positive. But once you understand the ledger, we've already made, you're going to see trades that are like 70% negative and 60% negative when you move them out. But the overall ledger may have only been 5% negative because we'd been closing a lot of positive trades. As soon as you take this bigger negative, which we're only about 5% away from closing it positive, but you're going to take that 70% negative position, move it out, your ledgers are going to go way up in profit because you moved that big negative off. Now we're going to still track not the 5%, like the 5% that was remaining to become positive. We're going to go back and track the 70% negative in the exchange, in the conversion, and make that positive. So overall, you're going to become extremely a lot more profitable because we're doing it this way. And the UTHX token, the Utherverse token, has the potential to go up many, many, many times. Again, no guarantees in trading, but because of that, we can now attack the bigger negative position, which we've already been doing in the ledger. We've already worked them down to 5% negative or 10% negative overall for the ledger. But now we're going to take that 70% negative or 60% negative and make it positive. So your overall profitability is going to go through the roof. So very important to understand that as we go into this. So Deb, I'm your student, I'm your guinea pig. So
All
uh,
right.
I'll share my screen, and as I do share my screen, we'll talk about one thing real quick, and then Deb is going to walk me through how to move from Kraken through SimpleSwap to my MetaMask wallet, and we'll go through that, and I'll be one. I'm going to act like I'm one of you guys so that you guys can see that process that we go through. But one of the things that I want to point out to you guys, when you start converting, you'll see these numbers like 132 Utherverse, because Utherverse is the only coin right now that we're converting to. And you'll see that in every place under converted, and you'll get down to USDT and you'll see this number right here. That number is the number of the tokens that I converted. If I take each one of these conversions up here, like 132, there's 132, 1150, there's 1150. All of my conversions add up to 752.56, and that is the same number here. So Deb, ultimately the amount that I have to move out of Kraken to my MetaMask and ultimately to Utherverse is $752. But
That's,
to,
yeah, go ahead.
but today in this demo, we're just going to move a little bit to show them how we do that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So, we're out on YouTube right now talking to the world, right? We want everybody to see what we're doing here. And just to let you know, if you didn't have a Digibot account and you wanted to take part in the pre-sale for Otherverse, and again, if you haven't heard anything about it, you want to go back through some of our lives, through some of our shorts to get you what you want to see there. But um uh it doesn't have to be just from Digibot. So today I spent some time, Doug, going through my MetaMask on my main account where I had purchased stuff years ago and just purchased coins, and I've just been hanging on to these coins. Well, some of them haven't done so well, surprisingly.
Right.
And especially when you're holding on to coins and you're not tracking the market, well, you're going to miss a lot of time. I could have sold these coins in profit, some of them, a number of times between, when I bought them and now, but I didn't. The fact is I didn't, and I'm still holding them. I'm going to convert some of those and I'm going to go take it to USDT, and I'm going to go buy some pre-sale Otherverse tokens because I believe in that coin, and I think the upside potential, especially after Saturday's call, is pretty phenomenal.
That was a
Uh,
great call, wasn't it?
it was fantastic. It
Yeah.
was absolutely fantastic. Yes. So please, if you haven't had a chance to watch that Saturday morning call, it was live on YouTube. We really want you to go back and have a look at that. The pre-sale is open to anybody. We've got the links out there where you go to get to the pre-sale. So today's call, we're going to show you how to get your assets out of Kraken and over to MetaMask. There are several ways you can do it. I'm going to go through one specific way, and it's the way I use every single time because I can trust that it gets them there every time I do it. And I
Right.
feel good about it. It's very simple for me. If you've gone, it might not be simple for you, especially if this is your first time that you've done something like this. This is a
Right.
complex process. And the reason, Doug, is because we are still in the wild, wild west of crypto, and nobody has come up with a really brilliant way to move our funds.
Right. And it can be a little bit scary, right? It because
A
you
little
haven't done
bit.
it before. And and I use Deb and I've used SimpleSwap for years. I move all of the money for the company from different networks and stuff in SimpleSwap to Coinbase, and then ultimately out to the bank, to use to run the companies. But you know, I gotta admit, the first time I used SimpleSwap, it was like, okay, you white knuckle it, but again, I encourage you, everybody, and you guys can see I'm only transferring a small amount today. I encourage you, if you're using SimpleSwap for the first time, test 10, 15, $20. Don't put 1,000, 2,000, a bunch of money in on your first SimpleSwap. Go through the process, do it, test it, know what you're doing once or twice, whatever makes you comfortable, and then do the big numbers, right? Do the bigger numbers. So you'll be much, much more calm if you do that. And SimpleSwap, Deb, the actual steps it goes through takes a little while. So if you're not comfortable with that, you can sometimes, get kind of freaked out and, just get comfortable with the process. That's the key. So, Deb, I know nothing.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
the first thing I'm going to have you do, you already know how much you want to transfer. You're going to do a small transfer right now. The first thing I want you to do is log into, yeah, okay, is log into Kraken.
I'm going to log. Okay. I'm in Kraken here. So I'm going to bring up my Kraken here.
Good. So from here, and this is the dashboard when you first log into Kraken. So from here, I'm going to have you click on portfolio.
Yeah, and if everybody's thinking my name is Michelle, it is not. This is the little demo account that I use. It's in my wife's name. Okay, so where do I go now?
Click on portfolio on the left-hand side.
Portfolio. Okay.
Yeah. And from here, I'm going to have you click on your asset called Tether.
That would be this one here, Deb.
And notice that you have 1240 in here. You have
Yeah, I could move
1,240.
$1,240, Deb.
You can move it all. You can do whatever you want. The amount that you converted was 792, I believe, or
No,
52.
752. Yep. So
752. So ultimately, you want to have at least that much over that you're going to use for Utherverse. You know what, guys? This is your money. So you can use as much or as little of it as you want, but just know if you want to track your actual trades back to profit, if you use the same amount that you converted plus anything else, that plus is just going to be used as a cost average. It's going to bring down the value that Otherverse needs to get to, that UTHX needs to get you back into profit, right?
well, and the other issue is that I have two open cost average ledgers that are using USDT. So if I use anything over the amount that I converted,
Oh, you left a couple in. Okay.
I could end up taking money from a trade or that's committed to a trade and then mess up Digibot and not do what I want to do. So when you see the amount that you converted, this is the amount you should stick with. If you want to do an additional amount, you can put more money in your MetaMask wallet and buy more tokens that way, or get money from somewhere else. But if you have open trades, only do the amount that you have converted. That way you'll be safe.
That way
Okay?
you'll be safe. Yeah, because Digibot's expecting you to have a certain amount of USDT in there to use to buy more trades in your ledger. So you want to make
Right.
sure you leave that there. Good point,
Yeah.
Doug. Good
Yep.
point. All right, so let's go ahead and click on withdraw.
Withdraw. Where's that at, Deb?
Right there in the first square white.
Oh, down here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hit withdraw.
Yes, withdraw. Okay, so let's talk about this. Go ahead and click the drop down for network. Kraken now gives you a variety of networks to decide to choose from to actually move your money. The money, remember, when you're moving it, generally speaking, when you're moving your money from one place to another, you can only do the exact same token, tether to tether, on the exact same network. So if you were to choose Polygon, you'd have to move it to a Polygon address. What SimpleSwap does is it says, look, we know that is virtually impossible for you to do, to move money like that. It's very hard to do. So what we want you to do is move it from the network that it's on, whichever network you want to move it on, and put it on the network where you need it to reside. So we need it to be on the BSC for the way that I'm showing you actually how to do this. Guys, if you don't, anybody who uses Insights, you know that right now we trade on Binance Smart Chain or the Binance or the Smart Chain, I guess they're calling it now.
Mm-hmm.
So you notice that Smart Chain is not one of your options here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Deb, I don't have BSC on here, so
we don't, and we want
I'm stuck. Then I can't do anything. Or
right. Well, we want to get it into MetaMask on the Smart Chain. So let's think about
right.
it. What I want you to do now is go to SimpleSwap, and I'm going to show you how to choose the best chain to move your stuff on. So you want to set up a new exchange. If you're new to SimpleSwap, it's simpleswap.io. Be very, very careful and cautious. Don't Google SimpleSwap and just pick one. Simpleswap.io, type it in, spell it right. There are accounts like SLMPLE Swap that look very much like SimpleSwap that is just there to steal your money. Scammers everywhere, not just in crypto, but in how many times have you had your debit cards, your credit cards, your cards be compromised or attempted compromise or whatever? It happens in crypto too. You got to be so careful. Simpleswap.io, type it in every time just to be safe. The next thing I want you to do is when you get to SimpleSwap is I want you to create an account. It's free. This way, every time you move money, you can log in and you know you're on the right place. If you're on a scam account and you try to log in with your credentials, you're never gonna get into that. You're never gonna get in. There's probably not a login feature on a scam account, but so log in, it keeps you super, super safe. Go ahead and click New Exchange. And for those of you who are just coming to the page of SimpleSwap, this is what you're going to see. It's going to look like this. Okay. And it says at the top, log in or get an account. Doug, if you're already logged in, it'll switch. Yeah, good. It switched. You're in. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you know that you have USDT. So you want to pick USDT from your dropdown. You send USDT, it says. So type in at the top USDT.
So any of these USDT,
I
Deb?
want you to type it in so you can see the actual list. USDT.
USDT.
Now all we're seeing is USDT and every chain that they have available. Okay. Now we're sending from. We saw about 5 options to send from. There's a lot more options out here, but we can only use what Kraken is giving us, those 5 options. So let's first try the Ethereum. Go ahead and click USDT Ethereum. And then tell it we already know we're switching it to USD BSC. So pick that one, type in USDT again. And pick BSC because that's where we want it to land in MetaMask.
Okay.
And go ahead and change your amount just change it to $100. If you send $100, it's going to cost you, it's only going to cost you $3.
It could be low right now. Sometimes the Ethereum network is low.
Wow, that's crazy good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now choose USDT Polygon or Matic. Polygon and Matic is the same place. Some people, you'll see it as, see Polygon and you see the Matic purple. Click that. Pair is not supported. USDT. So so it's only $2.
Yeah,
a little bit cheaper.
I gained a little bit.
It's a little bit cheaper, but usually there's like a $15 difference. So that's really surprising. It's cheap right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's Ethereum for you, right? It fluctuates all over the place.
You never know. Okay, so this, Doug, generally speaking, I choose Polygon. Now, Kraken on Saturday didn't allow me. Polygon wasn't it was an option, but it wasn't giving me an address in that moment. So I changed it to Solana and I transferred it. It was about the same price on Solana to move it out.
So if I did USDT here and I looked for Solana, which is right under, and click on that.
Yeah,
about the same price. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we get into Kraken, if it tells you Polygon's not available at the moment, we're just going to use Solana. So guys, just to reiterate what we're doing, because this can be so confusing. Kraken is only giving us 5 networks to choose from to move our money out. Now, back in the day, which I'm telling you was maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, they gave you one option, Ethereum. That was it, right? So we're moving. We're making
progress. We're making progress.
All right. So go ahead and pick one of those that you want to put out on.
So that I'm clear, Deb. Even though I'm selecting Polygon here, I have no intention of going to Polygon.
Correct.
My intention is to end up in BSC. I'm just using this as a bridge to get from one place to another place.
It's the conduit. It's which network are you going to send it over on? It's how it gets there. It's just the sending process. It's not where does this live today. It's because in Kraken it's allowing you, it's just holding it. It's allowing you to be anywhere on Kraken right now. So it's just the bridge that's taking you from one place to another.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm good here. Now what?
So Doug is doing just to reiterate, he's got $752 to send, but he's going to do a small transaction. We always suggest that you do one transaction as a test to make sure you get your money over there. And I always suggest it's around, whatever the minimum is, like 15 or 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Because if it's done wrong, you lose the entire amount you're sending, right?
So,
but in this case, we know.
But if I wanted to do that and I want to track that, I can do my spreadsheet and I can say, here, I'm going to say I'm only going to, out of the $76, I'm only going to move 20. So equals this minus this. And and this is for our digi people to track, because when we get to Kraken, or when we get to Utherverse, and we have the tracking insights that we're going to do on Wednesday, we can either decide to track as a overall total, which is cost average together, or I could choose to track each pair individually because each one has a different negative. So if I did that and I wanted to do a test with Dash and I only want to move 20, I'm going to end up doing 2 moves for Dash if I'm going to do it that way. And I need to remember that I still have 56 to move if I only do the 20. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do the 76. Okay. And I'm comfortable with that number.
All right. Okay, so at this point, we can say exchange. We know that we're going to move USDT from Kraken on Matic, and we're going to have it land in our MetaMask on the BSC chain.
So, okay. Deb, if I hit this exchange, is it just going to happen like right now?
Good news for you. There's a lot of checks and balances in here. So no,
thank you.
This gets us to the next step. Yeah, it really should.
Yeah, because hitting a button like exchange is like,
it's very
yeah, that's a scary word, Deb.
It's frightening. Guys, if you're a first timer, the first time you go through a process like this, it is, especially when you know that if you do something wrong, you're not getting your crypto. It's not going to, you don't get it back. So this, guys, with crypto, and especially in the decentralized world, we're saying take the banks out of it. Take the middleman out of the picture. I can do this myself. Our banks are in place right now to A, take a whole bunch of our money, and B, to give us a level of security.
Right.
Right. And you can't count on it all the time. But if you do something wrong, if 9 times out of 10, your bank's going to cover you if you're at the right kind of bank. No guarantees in that. But here, there's no guarantees at all.
Yeah, you're the guarantee.
You're the guarantor. You're it. Okay.
Yeah, and you can see this keeps refreshing, guys, and it keeps looking at the current price. Yep. So, Deb, this is grayed out. I can't.
Yeah. So now it's asking you, hey, enter the recipient's Tether USD address. So really what this is you're entering where is the money coming from? In my mind, it should say sender. Where's the sender's address? What's the sender's address, right? I'm sorry, recipients. Sorry,
recipient.
I'm going backward.
Yeah. So
this sorry.
Recipient. So really, BSC. This is telling you it's not your street address.
No.
This is telling you that it wants an address to send the money to. So
yes.
So Deb, would that be my bank account, or where would that be?
Let me tell them real quick. So when we look at the words on the screen, it makes it a lot easier. It is asking you point blank, what is your BSC address? Do you see that? BSC. So you go up and you look, where did I tell them I wanted BSC? Oh, that's where I want the money to land. So sorry, you should know that when I'm moving money, it's always from MetaMask to an exchange. I rarely move this direction. So that's why I got a little tripped up. So you want to go on your MetaMask, Doug, and you want to find your BSC address where you want this to land, the recipients who is receiving the money. They had that right, yes.
So in this case, I have a lot of wallets on here. And I want it in my UTHX wallet, which I've already got $4,237 in. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, Deb, so that we can actually see the amount change.
Yeah.
And
good
we
idea.
remember that. So I wanted to go here. So what do I
Yeah.
got to do?
So go ahead and go up to the top of that piece and click on the address copy to clipboard.
Okay.
That's your address for that particular wallet.
So I want that to go here.
You're going to paste it right in there. Guys, never ever in the history of ever try to copy an address by typing in the numbers and letters. Ever.
Oh,
Don't do
ever.
it.
You'll lose your money.
You'll lose your money because you're going to get one thing wrong and it's going to go to somebody else's wallet or no wallet at all, and there's no recovery process. So don't do that. All right. So this looks good. You have a BSC address in there. Doug, open your MetaMask one more time. Before you go any further, I just want you to eyeball at the top 3454C, 3454C, yes. A28DE is how it ends, yes. Something I want everybody to know is it is very easy to clone that address and change the numbers on the inside. So eventually MetaMask is going to show us more than just the first 5 or 6 and the last 5 or 6. They're going to actually let us see some of the numbers in the middle as well. So just know, but always double check that you're sending it to the right address. Sometimes you can copy an address to your clipboard an hour and a half ago for something else you were doing. And now you copy this to your clipboard and you paste it in. If you don't double check, you could be sending it to some other address that you had in your clipboard. So please always triple check that you're sending to the address you want to send to. All right, go ahead and click Create Exchange.
Now that's not going to do anything right away, right, Deb?
No, because it doesn't, SimpleSwap doesn't yet know where you're going to send your money from. Where you're going to send it. You need to know where to send your money. It's backward when I'm doing it this direction. All right, I don't think it felt your click. Come on,
Change is
SimpleSwap.
being created. There we
We're on a
go.
live call, SimpleSwap. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go.
Blue line's going across the screen and we're almost there.
Almost there. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Final screen. This says awaiting your deposit. So you've just told SimpleSwap, hey, take $76 and pop it into my BSC account. And SimpleSwap is saying, that's great, but you got to send me the 76 USDT first. So it's telling you exactly where to send it to. One thing you have to remember about this address is it is a temporary address. You'll never send to this address again. This is your address. It's going to wait for money from you on this address, and this address is never going to be used again. Keep that in mind when we go through Kraken, because Kraken's going to make you do something a little cracked, like
A little crack in.
So go
Okay.
ahead and copy that address.
And Deb, I just for my peace of mind, I'm actually going to move that over and I'm going to paste that right here so I have it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and so I know where I send it to. That's just something I like to do, but it gives me a little peace of mind. So now what do I need to do?
Go ahead and you copied it already. Go ahead and copy it again to your clipboard just to make sure it's still there.
Okay.
All right. Now go to Kraken.
Okay.
And here's where Kraken is a little half cracked. Kraken wants you, so choose your network. We chose Polygon, right?
Now, if I check Solana, would that create a problem now?
It'll create a huge problem because you have told SimpleSwap to expect it on the Polygon chain.
Oh.
If you send it on the Solana chain, it's not going to be able to transfer your money and do anything with it. So I will say that SimpleSwap has a phenomenal support department. So if anything does go wrong in your transfer, always contact them. And the chances are it's not good, but if SimpleSwap can help this situation, they will.
Perfect.
All right. So go ahead and click Add Tether USD Polygon Address. Now this is where Kraken is half cracked. It wants you to set up an address, a withdraw address with that SimpleSwap number that you're never going to use again, but they require it, so you have to do that. So I always put one-time SimpleSwap, so I know never to use this address again.
You actually type that here?
It needs a description. I usually
Okay.
do, you can do one-time SS for simple, whatever you like. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do SS. Okay, and then I paste the address here.
Paste it right there. All right. And then go ahead and click add withdraw address. Now, again, this is a requirement from Kraken. It's a silly requirement. Now it's going to have you go confirm that you are who you say you are. So you'll go check your email.
Okay, I'll pause this share for a second.
Okay. And I have a question out on YouTube. Perry asks, initially was USDT on Matic in Digibot Kraken? No, Perry. So initially, it was on the Ethereum, everything in Kraken was on the Ethereum network. And it still is, but when you move money, the crypto space came up with a bridge, a way to bridge your money from one network to another. So they've given you 5 different ways that you can move your money now. So it's sitting in there on the Ethereum network, but you can use any network any of them, the 5 that they give you to actually move your money. And it's cheaper, right? I always find the cheapest network, and sometimes Ethereum can be $15 or $20 more to move my money than Polygon or Solana. Tron is generally quite light and fluffy or cheap. Litecoin is super cheap. You can make those options when you're moving from MetaMask like into Coinbase. You have a lot more options from moving. When you're moving from an exchange, you have limited options right now. I hope that helped answer. If it didn't, ask again, Perry, and I'm here for you. CM Silver says, I think I'm supposed to have a Digibot access with my DFY package, but I'm not sure how to access it. I think we only had Insights tied to DFY. Is that right, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just Insights. You bet, Perry. Thanks for joining today. Thank you, Gary, CM Silver, and Perry. Thanks for hanging in there with us as we
You know,
posted.
this is the weirdest thing. Let me try a different computer here. I got another computer off to the side. Because I think I'm on Zoom here, it's not letting me log into the um,
Gmail?
Outlook.
Oh,
This is my wife's email account because I have my own Kraken, and so I have to. Oh, come on.
it was something else I was just about to mention as well. And it slipped, I tell you. Feel
God,
too bad.
okay, so let me go to Google here.
I'm just sitting here trying to come up with something good to say while we're in this event, and my whole everything just went done. She's
Well,
done.
this is okay.
So for those of you just joining, if you're joining our live, we are walking through the process of doing a withdrawal from Kraken and getting that money over onto your MetaMask on the Binance Smart Chain. Something else Doug could have done, like I said in the beginning, there's lots of ways you can do it. He could have moved directly from Kraken Polygon to his MetaMask Polygon, but then he still would have had to bridge that inside of MetaMask onto the BSC network. I find it's cheaper to let SimpleSwap handle your business. Just cheaper so far. I always, I don't want to give away, Doug, I don't want to give away my crypto to transfers.
Yeah,
I don't want to, I want to keep as much of my crypto as I can.
absolutely. And why this is not letting me in to this email address? I apologize, guys.
Oh, I know. So for those of you who want to see all of the steps that we're doing today, they're already mapped out in a nice PDF. If you go into our Discord channel, and when you look at the description here on this live, I don't know if it shows the description while we're live, but the link to our Discord is right in the live. So if it doesn't show it during the live, it will after. It populates after. I would assume it would do it during the live, but I don't see how to get into the description on my phone, so I'm not sure.
I got in. This is
Good.
my wife's email account. I only got in
All
here.
right. Apologize. Doug's hacking skills have faded a bit over time.
They have faded a
He
lot.
was unable to hack into his wife's email account.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
Confirm.
once you're in the email, you're going to want to click verify. You'll get an email from Kraken. It says verify. You just click that link. And then you cruise back in.
Okay. So I think I had to do it on another system. But let's see, let me go back to Kraken. Okay, we'll see if we're okay. I had to do it on another system. So address approved, it says.
Excellent. All right. So now you need to tell it how much. And you know exactly how much because SimpleSwap tells you how much. Go ahead and click on SimpleSwap real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see at the top, it's awaiting your deposit of 76 USDT. You can't send 75, you can't send 20. You have to send the amount that you told SimpleSwap you're sending. That's what they're expecting.
So where do I put that at, Deb?
Where it says USDT withdraw amount, right there. Yep, click in, put 76.
Come on, keyboard.
There you go. And now click withdraw USDT.
And
It should give you a 2FA. If you have 2FA set up on your withdraws and you don't. So it
okay.
did. Yep, go ahead and when you're ready, click.
And it tells me it's going to the Polygon network, which we know, and SimpleSwap's going to convert it to BSC.
And actually, if you look at the address, we need to confirm that address. 8675.
And that's why I did this.
Okay, 8C75. Yep, CO, that looks good. 3D70, 5EOD, that looks good. You can also, in case somebody didn't do that, just click on SimpleSwap and you can see the address right there. Always confirm that you're sending to the correct address.
Yep. Okay. Hit withdraw.
Hit withdraw. And
right.
there's your 2FA. And it's, Doug, it's the funding one. You have to click.
Yes.
The right one.
Yes. So Deb is telling you guys when you set up 2FA and Kraken, there's two of them. One's a login 2FA and one's a funding 2FA.
And actually, there's even more than that. There's quite a few, actually.
Successfully submitted, Deb.
All right, cruise on back over to your SimpleSwap and let's watch this go through. So currently it says it's pending. SimpleSwap is saying, we're ready. I'm ready for you on pending deposit. As soon as they see that 76 coming in on the blockchain, it's going to move to confirming, and it's going to sit there on confirming for a few minutes while it's confirming your transaction on the blockchain. Then the next thing it's going to do is it's going to exchange, and the exchange process, well, what's that? It's USDT to USDT. No, it's USDT on the Polygon or Matic network, and it's exchanging it to USDT on the BSC network. That's your exchange. And then as soon as it does that, it's going to send the USDT BSC to your final place. And look, that went through pretty quick. Oh, it's confirming now. Yep. And you just watch it go through the process. Guys, sometimes this process takes a very long time, and it can make the hair on your arms stand up because you think you did something wrong. Look, it's already exchanging. But it even tells you if it takes longer than usual, don't worry. It's got it. It's handling it. As long as you double checked all of your addresses that you're sending to and from, the networks that you're sending to and from, as long as you double and triple checked all of that, you're going to be golden, and you're going to get your money where you want it to be. I love SimpleSwap because two things. For me, after using it several times, it is quite simple. But the second thing is they have a phenomenal support department that I have dealt with on a few different occasions that I've been very happy with what they're able to, the way that they work with people. I've been on Zoom with people that I've been helping and watched them in the support mode. I've had to get help from them a time or two. And yeah, they've got a good department there. Which is not, and you're muted, Doug, but
Yeah,
that's not a common thing in crypto to have an actual
right.
support system.
It's not common at all. Once it says sending, Deb, is it immediately in my MetaMask?
Not immediately. Nope. It has to
Mm.
send it out across the blockchain. There's a lot that happens. You know, there's no middleman on the blockchain as far as people are concerned but there are computers and nodes that are verifying the information that you're sending. And that's what the blockchain is all about. The verification process happens, and it takes some time to go through and have all the checks and balances that are done. Even if you're sending it to the wrong address, it's still going to go through checks and balances. And there's no way that the nodes are going to know you're sending something to the wrong address. So you have to be very, very careful.
So we'll give this another couple seconds, guys. I've seen this take up to 15 minutes, even a half hour. Whoop, did it go?
How likely are you to recommend SimpleSwap to your friends and colleagues, Doug?
Very likely. Yeah.
Give
Let's
them
just say
a
10. And I don't like to type all that out.
Yeah. All right, you did it.
Finished successfully.
So now go ahead and go into MetaMask and let's see if it's there.
Wow.
You
Just
sent
when I said
70.
we're going to give it a couple more minutes, it decided to perform.
Yep.
Okay,
You have
so
4351 there now. What does your image say you had before?
I had 4237.
Ooh, that looks like you went up in USDT.
I did. And so on Wednesday, Deb, I'll move all the money across. And on Wednesday's call, guys, we're actually going to go from here to UTHX or Utherverse and actually buy the tokens and move them into Insights for tracking. And we'll show you guys how to do that on Wednesday.
Yes. And if you
Okay.
want to know more about UTHX, the token that is coming out, that'll be the main token inside of a metaverse called Utherverse that was built to house all the metaverses in the world.
It is the backbone that everybody will use, guys.
It is.
So,
if you want to own those kind of tokens, you just go on over to our website, insightsdefitrader.io, click on the Utherverse button, and you're going to find your way to the pre-sale. If you have Digibot already, or if you have Insights already, you can log in and click the Utherverse page. Click on that. It's going to give you your link to get your pre-sale tokens, go on over and get yourself some pre-sale tokens. Whether you have Digibot or not, whether you're transferring out of Kraken or not, we can help you track the profitability on your Utherverse tokens right inside of our platform called Insights. We're super excited to have all of you here watching us today. I hope you learned a thing or two about how to move money from Kraken out to the BSC. Is Utherverse still 0.05 cents? It is,
It
Perry.
is.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is.
There's a
Right?
lot of marketers now that are starting next week. I know there's still a lot of groups that are wanting to get involved. And the good news is it took us a while to get the back end done for tracking for Brian and stuff that we built for him. And so it's allowing all of us to get in and get ours done. So, you know, a lot going on there, and especially, just listen to the Saturday call, guys.
Yeah, go listen to the Saturday call. You're going to want to be a part of this. There's no
Yeah.
guarantees in anything in life or anything else, but we are very excited about this project and we hope that you come join us in this project. Doug, I had a lot of fun with you today. Thank you for
Yeah,
through that process.
I'm not near as scared now, Deb.
Right?
Thank you.
You're an
Yeah.
old pro. Hey, the first thing I want you to do is go into Kraken. I want you to delete that address that you added. You'll never
Oh,
use it again.
you sure I won't?
I promise you that is a one-time address. You'll never use it again.
So when I go here, I'll share my screen. Let's go ahead and just show that to them.
Yep.
Oh, look at this as one-time SS, Deb.
Yeah. So
If
see what
I,
it says, manage withdraw addresses?
oh, I can't do the down arrow? No, huh? So managed addresses.
See the trash can on the right-hand side?
I can hit that and I'll be okay because I already got my money, Deb.
You already got your money. You're never going to send to this address again. Guys, when it's time to send the rest of his money, he's going to set up another exchange. That next exchange is going to give him a different address to send his money to. So you don't want to be hanging on to that. We do tell you to do a test transaction and then to do the real transaction. So please remember to delete that address.
Yeah.
It's not where you want to send it to.
Yeah. And you could get confused. So the best thing to do is keep this clean. So Deb,
Keep it clean.
absolutely. Keep it clean, keep it simple. It'll be easier. All right, Deb, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you, Doug. We'll see you
Th-
on Wednesday.